down Queen to arrive at Eastern and Pape. We had witnessed in the span of a half hour since arrival 3 individuals released to a crowd of cheers from the gathering. One individual, Edward, in his 40s, story. He was walking the streets at 2 a.m. The TTC wasn't functional, was trying to get back home, and when he witnessed a box of oranges sitting there, he picked it up, not even realizing there was a protest nearby.
And Craig, we were just, sorry to interrupt you, we were just showing a video from moments ago of these arrests. We're watching individuals being brought down to the ground. This is moments ago, video from moments ago. Individuals being brought down to the ground. We're looking at pictures right now of 2 officers and what appears to be a very dramatic.
Get on the sidewalk and do that. Take the sidewalk line. Take the sidewalk line.
Or not, I don't know. What did that guy do? I don't know. I want Get back! Get back! Come back, come back! Get on here! Back up, back up! Back up!
Well, yeah, here we are on day 2, the final day of the actual summit. Because they made so many arrests yesterday, I heard a report of 500 people getting arrested in one go and taken out to that Guantanamo Bay-style warehouse. The streets of Toronto are eerily quiet. We walked around for about an hour today trying to find something, and all we could find was a group of about 500 to 1,000 people with about as many police. We did start a march walking through the centre of Toronto outside the old City Hall, and the police were stopping the march every 100 meters just for no reason. So there is no way to get around the city. It does feel like the not too distant future, as if this is how they are going to be treating cities once things get worse for us. So we are actually seeing much more mainstream media on the streets than actual protesters. The mainstream media are obviously allowed everywhere, but interestingly enough, we have identified a few people in plain clothes walking around the crowd who then suddenly are able to walk behind the police lines.
Just absolute madness around here. It's completely unprecedented. I've never could have imagined I'd see this in my own city, in the city of Toronto. I'm just blown away, really. I'm just shocked at what I've been witnessing. They've arrested, like Charlie said, upwards of 500 people now, who are staying down in the Toronto Film Studios that they are using as a temporary holding facility.
And Charlie was in there. He described cameras above the toilets, the way they humiliated him, that it was like something out of a science fiction movie.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Toronto used to pride itself on the fact that it has never used tear gas in any kind of a protest before. But that has recently changed. For the first time ever, tear gas has been deployed on the people of Toronto. So, you know, it's unbelievable what's happening right now. I haven't had a whole lot of sleep. We've been working hard covering this for the last 3 days, and I'm just blown away, Alex.
I'm back.
Yeah, Alex, it is a very sad state of affairs. We've seen people get pushed around here, and we saw a 12-year-old boy yesterday get hogtied with those plastic zipper things and thrown in the back of a van, and this 12-year-old boy was crying. This is just after they tear gassed the crowd. So you really don't feel like you're walking around a civilized Western world city. You really feel like you're walking around some city after an apocalypse or a nuclear attack. It's
and you said the police relished arresting you for no reason, and relished the petty power, and relished looking at you while you went potty.
Yes, they did. They certainly did. It wasn't just rattling the cage. The sergeant who arrested me, he had one of those U.S. Marine crew cuts and those piercing right-wing nasty eyes. And when I had to get my photograph taken, I had to hold up this board saying Veach on it, and he was saying, "Ha, I feel like I'm here with a prize fish, ha ha ha, I've caught one of these high-profile protesters, ha ha ha." So they are enjoying it.
Well, but, you know, let's just remember, they're under mind control. And they've been told we're terrorists and that we're communists and all of this. They don't understand that these bankers are criminals. They probably think Madoff is good.
Yeah, and just to add, Dan and I, because Dan lives right here in downtown Toronto, right next to the security fence, we got searched 3 times in 30 minutes and had our IDs checked and radioed in. So they're definitely onto us. And it's funny, every time Dan and I walk anywhere, if it's not for his Spartan beard or my megaphone, they are keeping a very close eye on us. And it's a very scary feeling, Alex, when you cross the street and there's 30 police officers following you. And Dan and I have been filmed by police probably about 5 or 6 times today. They've got these super expensive semi-professional cameras, probably $10,000 cameras that obviously the Canadian tax. Yeah, and also let's not forget as well, it's a predictive programming to train the public in urban areas to comply, to allow arbitrary searches of your bags, to go through checkpoints, to have police radio you in and have to give your details. Dan was actually very good today. A female police officer said, "Can we search your bag?" And Dan said, "No, you have no right to search my bag. I haven't broken the law." But then 5 minutes later, another police officer said, "Yeah, you have to comply or you'll both be arrested." And so we both had our bags searched 3 times.
My whole crew is actually being targeted this weekend. Anytime we go out, they see us with our cameras. They approach us and basically harass us. And no matter where we are in the city, a lot of things are going on. Nothing is really centralized in any one area. There's little pockets of activity all over Toronto.
Yeah, the G20 criminals are everywhere.
Absolutely. And, you know, they keep coming right up to us. As soon as we walk out of my apartment, we get surrounded by a gaggle of 4 or 5 police officers.
And this is the secret police system. I mean, again, it's all about no one's allowed to protest the Madoffs that are in there robbing you blind, and the police have been internationalized. And again, I mean, we have the footage at the G20 of private security people grabbing people off the streets and snatching and grabbing them into vehicles, and old women coming out of grocery stores with bread and lettuce going, "Officer, they just let dogs go and go, 'No one in the city, no one on the street.'" And